Hey friends, Dan Litvin from AYI. How are you doing with the quarantine right now? How am I doing? Well, thank you for asking. I'm doing menos mas, a little, so-so with it. Really understand the importance of it and appreciate the importance of it and appreciate this global effort for us to serve and to help one another. But there's some stuff that I'm starting to miss. One of my favorite things to do on the weekends or in the evenings is to just go sit in a coffee house, maybe read, do some work, whatever it is, just that buzzing and chattering with people. I really like that. I really love teaching yoga classes to real life people. It's a lot easier for me, and I really appreciate that sense of communion and being able to, almost like a jazz musician, just jive off of what everyone else is doing, and it feels like there's a communication. I even miss going into the office and being with my coworkers and having that in-person collaboration. And so right now I'm realizing the importance of some things like self-care and keeping a good head on your shoulders and gratitude and grace and appreciating things like health and those that are next to you, whether they're physically close, go quarantine, or the people that are close to you in terms of heart space. So there's so many blessings in this time, that's for sure. But to be honest, there's some stuff that I'm looking forward to getting back to. And so with class today, thinking about, all these things that are going on, something that has been on my mind are those little, let's say, new rituals of self-care or of breaking up the monotony or of keeping sane that I'm doing and that I'm sure you're doing. And so as a way to, let's say, kind of group source and to support one another, the thing that I'm going to invite you to do is in the comment section below, list what some of those self-care practices are for you. What's been working especially well right now. For me personally, it's been to break up the day a little bit and to do do some things in this time that I would never really do. So I've been doing some things physically that I normally wouldn't, whether it's doing an obscene amount of push-ups or squats or sun salutations or whatever it might be, or some things like connecting with friends over Zoom for game night, whatever it might be. So it's those little things that, I can do now that normally I'd be either too busy or too caught up with other things, or being able to do other things like going to a yoga class or going to the gym or visiting my friends' homes or whatever it might be. So in some ways it's a pretty cool and interesting time in that sense, if you let it be that, right? Or sorry, if I let it be that. Another thing that's really been supportive is to double down on my meditation and let's say spiritual practice. With everything that is in the air, with the uncertainty that comes, with the apprehension, whether it is of our health, of our finances and business, of the health or well-being of our loved ones, whatever it might be, it does creep in and crawl in. It even feels like sometimes we're getting it from the people around us. And so some of those spiritual practices, which can be as simple as taking a moment to take a deep breath, or doing a little bit of journaling, or even just, taking some time to smile and to appreciate. Those have been things that have been really helpful to me. And there's been one practice that I've, let's say, returned to and reconnected with that's been very beneficial, and that's Dirga Pranayama, 3-part breath. So what we'll do in today's class is I'm going to lead a bit of an extended Dirga Pranayama practice, and it's going to be one focused on expanding. So using this time in this practice to expand the breath a little bit, to create a little bit of a breakage of some old habits, some stuff that I think is very top of mind right now. And so that'll be the crux of the first part of class, and you are so welcome to just do that and turn off the video. In fact, that was my original idea, but I figured the second part is, if you're home and you feel a little bit stuck with it and confined by the space, it is really nice to get into the body. And I know I love connecting with my body, some movement of whatever way really sets this crazy guy up here into a very nice, even way. So the rest of class, it'll be about 45 minutes total, will be just a gentle movement through the body. Nothing really too special, but hopefully something that you enjoy. And maybe do the Dirga Pranayama, you turn it off, do your own thing. And whatever it is, I hope this serves you and helps you. And in return, I would appreciate if you let me know and you let the whole community know what is serving you and helping you in this time. So again, leave that in the comment section below. Enjoy class. We'll only need maybe 2 blocks, maybe a blanket, and your limbs, your body, and your good attitude. So thanks for watching and enjoy class. Let's get started today in a kneeling position. A block between the heels may serve you very well, making this a much more comfortable seat. Now when you find your seat, we'll practice Dirga Pranayama, so letting the eyes come to a close. Take a few moments to settle into the seat, maybe rolling the shoulders up, back, and down, reaching the crown of the head skywards, chin parallel with the ground, ears in line with the shoulders. And taking 2 or 3 flushing breaths. Whatever that means for you, maybe there's a sound with the breath. Beginning here, imagine that your lungs existed in your stomach. Every inhale inflating the stomach as much as is available. Every exhale emptying out. As you breathe here, especially with the inhales at the peak, notice if there's any tension that inhibits the breath. This requires a bit of sensitivity, a bit of body awareness and experience. So if this instruction doesn't mean anything to you, that's fine. If you notice anything holding you back, a place where you feel stuck, maybe there's a gentle little emotional pull there, a little bit of a fear or a seizing sensation. See if you can, layer by layer, soften. Maybe every new breath just a tiny little nanometer deeper. Perhaps you reach a point that feels so nice, and if you do, stay there. Letting the breath serve you. Start to expand. After the next inhale through the stomach lungs, as we're calling them now, letting yourself expand into the chest, the ribs, and even the middle back. When the exhale comes, let everything out together. It might feel awkward at first, especially if you're newer to this practice, to fill up one area and then to fill another. Notice what your response to that challenge or that awkwardness is. Maybe you have faith in yourself that if not today, you will sooner or later get this motion. As you breathe into the chest, those ribs, the middle back, once again notice, are there any inhibiting forces? Any tension? Any patterns? Not expecting yourself to break free in one day. But maybe you can take a tiny little step of expanding a little bit more fully. Stopping when you find a point that feels nice or interesting today. Let's bring in the last part of this breathing technique. With the inhalation, after the stomach feels full, after the chest and ribs have expanded fully, bringing in to the upper chest, the collarbones, the shoulders, even the shoulder blades and the trap muscles. Different people and at different times, these three parts feel very, very different. So not judging, not criticizing, maybe being open, playing, experimenting, exploring. Finding that fullness, finding a place that feels good in this moment today. This last part is bringing these three aspects together. Instead of three discrete breaths, instead of three discrete parts, one unified inhale. Letting letting the stomach, the chest and ribs and upper chest all expand together. And exhaling everything softly towards empty. There might be some awkwardness here. There might be some tension here. Can you soften? Can you experiment? Can you get to a place that's enjoyable or interesting now? Let's begin to bring in some gentle movement. Letting the head and the neck begin to slowly rotate. Just like the breath, finding a place that feels nice or interesting. Or maybe it's an and or here. Rotating the other direction. Coming back towards a long spine, crown of the head reaches up, bring the shoulders up towards the ears, roll them forward, down, back, and up. And as you do this with the shoulders, maybe the spine and even the hips get in on the motion, rotating gently forward and back. Going at a pace, at a depth that feels good for you. Next time the shoulders are down, switch directions, forward, up, back, down. After the next time the shoulders lower down, you'll get the arms involved. Nice big arm swing, and then shoulders. Then arm swing, then shoulders. And back and forth as goes with your rotations. Next time you finish an arm swing, let the fingertips tent up on the ground. Reach the crown of your head skywards and then let the left ear drop down towards the left shoulder. Take a moment here as the ear and the head relaxes down, noticing maybe a stretch across the right side of the neck, the right trap. If you want to go in a little bit deeper, start to either walk that right hand away or flex that right hand and reach it away from you. Only go deeper if it will serve and support you. When your next inhale arrives, head reaches up, hand reaches down if it lifted. Take a moment to neutralize. let's mobilize. Right ear, right shoulder. Take a moment first before doing anything else. Assess where you are and how it feels. And then moving and adjusting in any which way that will serve you at this moment. Maybe the left fingers reach away. Maybe the left hand reaches. Maybe you back out a little bit. Good. Take that left hand down. If it's lifted, gently lift that head on up. Take both hands out in front of you like you're saying, stop. From this point, take the right hand over the left fingers. Press the left heel, the hand away. And take a moment to try to find as much space as you can from the left heel, the hand, to the left shoulder. And if you would like to explore any little movement or play, experimenting with what happens when you move, go for it. Lovely. Let's switch. So like you're showing off your manicure. And now pressing the heel of the hand, or let's say the base of the wrist, away from you. And instead of just trying to squash the hands, try to pull the knuckles down, so creating space from the knuckles to the base of the wrist. Lovely. Release. Take a few rotations in that left hand, other way, and shake it out. Good. Let's get ready for side two. Right hand reaches forward, holding around the fingers, heel of the hand presses on forward. Finding again that length and that space from the right shoulder to the right heel of the hand, and if you'd like to explore any movement, you are always welcome to do so. In fact, this is your class here in your living room or bedroom or home studio or on your roof or in your basement, wherever you might be. So you can do whatever you would like to do. Taking a moment or two longer here. And let's get ready to switch sides. So taking the hand slowly down, holding around the knuckles, and again finding some length from the base of the wrist down to the knuckles. Lovely. Releasing, rolling out that wrist, rolling the other way, and shaking. Shake, 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 shake. A little bit more, and release. Let's come onto hands and knees into tabletop position. When you get there, shake out the knees and feet a little bit. Maybe you lift the ankles off the ground and rotate them out a few ways. One way, a few more times the other way. Excellent. And then assuming tabletop. When you find tabletop, we're going to take a few moments here in stillness, actively pressing through the hands, reaching the crown of the head forward, hips over knees, and then really settling into the structure of your bones here. So instead of muscling your way up, you have that deep structure, that deep stability. Excellent. See if you can reach a little bit further with the crown of your head, finding more space from your sacrum, from your tailbone to the crown of your head. And now with your next inhale, take the left hand up towards the ceiling. Next exhale, it's a short little jaunt. Take that left hand down and try to bring thumb to thumb, reach the left leg up and back and step it forward to the pinky side of that left hand. Readjust the hands as you would like. and start to explore some movement for that hip. So maybe drawing some circles around. Maybe going one way, the other way, whatever feels good. Maybe find a place that feels good for you, or something interesting is happening. You just hang out there. And if this movement morphs a little bit, it becomes something totally different, that is perfectly great. Taking some more time here. Good. Planting the hands back underneath the shoulders. Take that left leg straight back behind you. Reach it actively back, 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 back. Heel lifts, crown of the head reaches forward. And then take the left toes down to the ground. If they're not there already, right toes come onto the ground. And come into a version of down dog with that right knee heavily bent. Letting yourself feel a stretch in the back of that left thigh. Left heel roots down towards the ground, and maybe you shake out the head or you shimmy the shoulders a little bit, find a bit of ease in the body. Next exhale, drop that right knee down. Lift that left leg up and then take it to the left. Bring the toes down to the ground. Look over that right shoulder towards the left heel. Press that left heel away from you. Take a moment or two, breathing deeply into that left side body. And from here, you're going to lift that left leg on up and then take it over to the left, touch down, and go back and forth a few times. Very nice. And then take that left leg up and back one more time. Reach it back, crown that reaches forward. And then you're going to step that left leg between the hands. And then start to play a little bit here, moving forward and back. Maybe start slowly and small. Maybe you frame that front foot with the blocks and you settle back towards a straight front leg. And you come in, letting the back bend a little bit here. Going back and forth a little bit more. Very nice. Next time that front knee is bent forward, stay there. Maybe walk that back knee back. Take the hands firmly onto the blocks or the ground and start to let the chest puff on forward as the hips sink down to the ground. Take a moment or two here. Find length across the chest, across the collarbones. And squeeze the knees towards one another. Staying here with the hands on the ground. Maybe taking the hands atop that top knee. Or maybe reaching the hands up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades relax down the spine. Good. Just like we did in tabletop, root down into the structure of your legs. From that point of pressing the bones down and using the muscles for a bit of buoyancy, the crown of the head reaches taller, the spine lengthens. The fingertips reach on up while the shoulders remain relaxed. Next exhale, hinge forward. Frame out that front foot. Let yourself step back. Tabletop pose. Let yourself shimmy a little bit side to side. Good. From this point, left hand roots on down. Inhale, right hand up. Take a moment or two here, nice and long. And then exhale, thumb to thumb. Take that right leg to the right side of the right pinky. Readjust the hands and once again play a little bit here. Settling into your hip, whatever feels good for you in your body. Nice. Taking the hands back underneath the shoulders. Right leg reaches straight back, long spine, heel back, crown of the head forward. And then take that right leg to the left, bring the toes down, look over that left shoulder. Breathe into that right side of the body. And like we did before, lift that leg, take it to the right, tap down, reach it back, back and forth, pace of your breath, or pace that feels good. Nice. And then take that leg straight back, reach the heel back, bring the toes down to the ground, tuck the left toes, reach up and back, that weird little down dog, right heel drives down to the ground. Again, maybe the neck rotates, maybe the shoulders shimmy, whatever feels good in your body. Exhale, bring that left knee down, reach that right heel on up. Look between the hands, exhale, step right there. And like we did before, start to shimmy a little bit back and forward. And then maybe these motions get a little bit wider. Maybe that front leg heads towards straight. Maybe you find a little bit of back bend as the hips reach forward. A few more times. Next time that front knee is bent, staying there. Taking the hand either to the ground or to blocks. Chest puffs up, hips sink down. From this point, beginning to squeeze knees towards one another. Maybe staying here, maybe hands atop that front knee. Maybe hands reach tall, wherever you are sinking in to your lunge. Next exhale, hinge forward. Frame out that front foot. Step that front foot right back. Tucking both toes, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. This is a little micro class experience today, so we're almost through, just a couple more stretches. Next exhale, bring the knees down to the ground. Rolling back into a seat. And bring the soles of the feet together. Hands around the feet, reaching the crown of the head tall. Taking a few breaths. You're welcome to stay here, or you could hinge forward into your butterfly pose.
Funky life, happy tune. Funky life, happy tune. Funky life, happy tune. All it glitters. Funky life, happy tune. Funky life, happy tune. Funky life, happy tune. All it glitters.
Next, inhale, walking your hands in, tall spine. Slowly does it, knees come together. And then extend out your left leg. Take your right foot over the left side, and then wrap your hands around that right knee, squeezing the right knee in and trying to find as tall of a spine as you can here. Staying here for a few moments, breathing nice and full. And from this point, right hand reaches up. Take the right shoulder back in space, and then draw the right hand right behind you by the sacrum, letting yourself open up through the chest, through the spine. Explore and experience. What does it feel like to breathe fully in a twist? Next, inhale, unwind. Take that right leg out in front, hands back behind you, bounce out the knees a few times. Good, and let's get ready for side two. Left knee bends. Take that left foot over the right. Squeeze the knee in towards that right armpit, sitting up as tall as you can, even puffing out the chest a little bit. Taking a few moments here. Keeping the right arm wrapped around the left knee, left hand draws up, shoulder reaches back and plant that left hand by the sacrum. Sit up nice and tall and twist. Next, inhale, unwind. Take that left leg out, hands back behind, bounce out those knees a few times. And then start to find your ways onto your backs. Legs can be extended or knees can be bent, but reach the arms up and overhead, finding a nice tall spine, and relax here for a few moments.
Ma raison de vivre, je ne penserai plus au lit.
If they're not there already, bend the knees, heels underneath the knees. You can keep the hands where they are, or you can bring them down beside you, palms pressing into the ground, pressing the feet into the ground, and start to reach the hips on up, coming into a bridge pose. Any version of bridge you would like. It'll be about 5 breaths total. Taking the hands wide, relaxing the spine down, reaching the legs towards the corners of the mat, the arms out beside you, and letting yourself sink down into Shavasana. yourself to begin to take some nice, full inhales and exhales. As you breathe here, bringing some small movements into fingers and toes, into ankles and wrists. Let yourself reach your arms up and overhead. Extend toes towards the bottom of your mat. Take another full breath or 2 or 3 in and out. Knees draw into chest. Roll onto one side of your body. Rest here for a few moments longer. Pressing the hands into the ground, lift your way up to a comfortable seated position. And when you find that seat, hands rest on the lap. And for about another minute, maybe a little bit longer, come back into the breath. Like we did with Dirga Pranayama, let the breath be full, deep, and something that either feels so nice or is quite interesting. Draw palms together at the heart. Chin bows down. Taking a moment to honor all of the self-care practices that allow you to expand, to evolve, and to be the glorious you that you are. Thank you for practicing with me, for shaking off the cobwebs and taking some time to ground, to calm, and to open. As it said, the light and divinity within me honors and reveres the light and divinity within you. Namaste.